What's up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster, and now that episode 3 of The Acolyte is out, you might be wondering, did it really ruin Star Wars like they said it would?
It's bad. It's so bad.
Well, the answer is both yes and no. A little over a week ago, as you may remember, Alan Ng, who was given early access to the show's first 4 episodes as a film critic, tweeted out, "The 3rd episode of The Acolyte will finally kill Star Wars for the vast majority of pre-Disney Star Wars fans." So, the fandom braced itself for what was coming, and yes, the episode is absolutely awful. It lives up to the hype, however, you cannot kill what's already dead. The Acolyte Episode 3 is the equivalent of a zombie's second death. It wasn't the same person, so who gives a shit? But it has caused both the audience and the critic scores to plummet on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'll swallow your soul! I'll swallow your soul! I'll swallow your soul!
Swallow this.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on Twitter, where my handle is Dr. Disaster1. Anyhow, like I said, this episode was so shitty that even the critics are hating on it. The last I knew, this show was sitting at about a 94% critic score when I checked a couple days ago, but it has dropped to 85% on 117 reviews, which will make it a lot harder for the media to push the narrative that fans are just mean and evil and review bombing the show. But if we click on that link there to look at the critic reviews, which shows them all chronologically, you can see that only 5 new reviews have dropped in the past 3 days, and only 2 out of 5 were negative. So how did it drop damn near 10 percentage points?
Dude, I don't get it. I don't get it either.
Well, there's only one explanation. The critics have begun changing their reviews. They have all the conviction of a weather vane, which tells us that we are winning. Our sentiment is growing in strength against this trash. I mean, look at that audience score. 24%. That is down to Batwoman levels of fan hatred. When a Disney show is down in the gutter with CW trash, especially when you consider the bloated $180 million budget of this Star Wars Acolyte nonsense, you know that shit is getting real.
Oh, dear God, no!
But what was it that actually happened in the episode that pissed everyone off, you might be wondering? Well, this article from Bounding Into Comics sums it up for us. The Acolyte makes massive retcon to Star Wars lore, reveals lesbian space witches crafted life from the Force long before Darth Plagueis. Now, remember last week when a bunch of us were wondering what it was in episode 3 that they would tarnish, and we surmised that it had to be Yoda, because he'd be about the only person alive during that era of Star Wars. Well, it was so much worse than that. The article says, and there you have it, Star Wars fans. In sadly, but unsurprisingly, delivering on previous whispers, the 3rd episode of The Acolyte has made an absolutely massive, ostensibly identity politics motivated change to one of the franchise's most pivotal pieces of original pre-Disney lore. In current Star Wars canon, the power to create life via the direct manipulation of the Force is considered a near impossible feat, even for the most storied of its users. So much so, in fact, that prior to the Acolyte's third episode, there had only ever been one individual who was reportedly able to pull it off, the infamous Sith Lord Darth Plagueis.
He could use the Force to influence the midi-chlorians to create life.
The article then goes into detail about how Plagueis created life, talking about some of the expanded universe content, but then the article says, but regardless of this fun bit of EU trivia, thanks to the Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland, Plagueis is no longer the first Force user to manipulate the universal life energy to create life. Instead, that honor now belongs to the newly introduced leader of an unknown band of Force-sensitive witches who, for some bizarre reason, aren't Night Sisters, because, sure, Disney, why not? As detailed in the show's third episode, decades before Plagueis even began his study of the Force, Anastasia used it to bring to life 2 embryos within her fellow witch, Mother Coral, the pair of which would soon after be birthed into the world as series protagonists May and Osha.
This is the worst! Bullshit! All of it!
Leslie Headland wasn't kidding when she said that this show was going to be queer-coded, but the fans ain't having it, and even the critics are starting to turn on the series. It will be interesting to see whether or not Disney lights the beacons again and pushes the critics to swoop in and save them by changing the scores to positive ones. But I'm going to leave it there. What do you think of this massive retcon in Star Wars? Are you happy to see zombie Star Wars die its second death? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.